or just any old excuse to get together. Then off we trot. The whole
fairies with Elizabeth. You do talk about them.
Sometimes we do.
What do you talk about?
What they get up to.
What sort of things do you think they get up to?
Naughty things.
Really?
Taking berries and fruits. Trying on people's dresses.
Have you seen any fairies?
When I was little, I saw one under a mushroom in Ireland.
Do you think it gets harder to see them when you get older?
Yes, probably. Some adults use their imagination.
So do you think it takes imagination to see them?
You've got to believe in them to be able to see them. So it isn't just you, there's other people.
You want me to come over, I got an excuse. Might be holding your hand, but I'm holding it loose. Go to talk, then we choke, it's like our necks in the noose. Avoid the obvious, we should be facing the truth. Start to think it could be fizzling now. Kinda shocked because I never really had any doubts. Look into your eyes, imagine life without you. And the love starts again.
worthless, idiots, drunkards, ne'er-do-wells, fanatics, sailors, tailors, watchmakers, scarlet fever, whooping cough, meningitis, running ears, chorea, stutterers, jailbirds, dreamers, storytellers, bartenders. Finally, there was underdog, condemnation. The morgue and insane. No one knew that the movie was going completely off her nut. That when we reached the corner, she would leap forward like a reindeer and fight a piece out of the moon. And nobody could think quick enough to stop it. Just like that, it happened. In the twinkle of a star. And now I'm going to tell you what those bastards said to me. They said, Henry, you take us to the asylum tomorrow, and don't tell them that we can afford to pay for them. Fine. Always Mary was right. The next morning, we boarded the trolley together and we rode out into the country. If Really asked where we were going, I was to say to visit Aunt Money. But really didn't ask any questions. She sat quietly beside me and pointed to the cows around there. She saw blue cows and green ones. She knew their names. She asked what happened to the moon and daytime. And did I have a piece of liverwood by any chance? During the journey, I wept. I couldn't help it. When people are too good in this world, they have to be put under lock and key. There's something wrong with people who are too good. It's true Millie was lazy. She was born lazy. It's true that she was a poor housekeeper. It's true she didn't know how to hold on to her husband when they had found her one. When Paul ran off with the woman from Hamburg, she just sat in a corner and wept. The others wanted her to do something, put a bullet in her, raise a rumpus, sue for alimony. But Millie sat quiet. She wept. She hung her head. She was like a pair of torn socks that had kicked around here, there, everywhere, always hanging up at the wrong moment. And now she's very plain. She calls the cows by their first name. The moon fascinates. She has no fear because I'm with her, and she always trusted me. I was her favorite. Even though she was a half-wit, she was good to me.
Of the ideas in my book From Science to God, which is subtitled The Mystery of Consciousness, which is also the title of this talk. And where I'm going is something which maybe a lot of you are already there in terms of intuitive knowing about the fundamental nature of consciousness. And that, as someone said yesterday, everything is mind. It's something we often talk about, some of us know about it intuitively, and we just give lip service to it very often. But what I've been working on is how that actually begins to fall out from modern physics and from also philosophy and other ideas, but to actually see that we can actually make an argument for that in a very much in a Western sense. We don't have to rely upon our intuitions or whatever to convince people. We can actually produce an argument that shows that the fundamental nature of reality is actually consciousness. And that's what I want to look at today. So it's not so much the conclusion that we arrive at that's very important so much for me, but the way we arrive at the argument gets there. So that's what I'll be looking at, is really the nature of reality, the nature of consciousness. So we can take the lights down a bit because I shall be using images quite a bit. So let's start thinking about consciousness a bit, what we mean by consciousness. Consciousness, and it's the one thing we cannot deny, is the fact that we are conscious. It's probably the only absolute certainty we have is that we are experiencing beings. I mean, right now, for example, we could all be plugged into the Matrix and just be having this wonderful simulated experience of sitting here in this room. So we could actually doubt whether this is real. But we couldn't doubt that we were still experiencing. It may be an illusion, but we're still experiencing. In fact, that's what Descartes saw with his famous cogito ergo sum. He was looking for the absolute truth. And he found he could doubt everything, any idea, any philosophy. He even doubted he had a body, he doubted his experience, and this is 350 years before virtual reality. And then he realized the one thing he couldn't doubt was what he was experiencing. And yet this is something which science has consistently ignored for various reasons. And one is Descartes himself. Descartes said he didn't want to get himself burned at the stake like Bruno when Bruno supported Copernicus. So he said, let us natural philosophers, he didn't call himself scientists, he called himself natural philosophers, we will study the world of things, the world of things in space. The world of the mind will leave to the church. We don't want to tread on their toes. Like a little safety net to stop himself from getting burned. He said, we'll leave the mind to the church. So that began the split. But also, of course, there's no way to measure consciousness. You can't weigh it, you can't use normal scientific ways of looking at things to measure consciousness. Which actually leads to the interesting corollary, the fact that there is no scientific evidence whatsoever for consciousness. Because there's no way of measuring it. There's no actual experiment you can do to prove that somebody is conscious. We believe they are together. We may all be, other people may all be what's called zombies in philosophical language. Zombie is actually a technical philosophical term. You don't realise that. A zombie is someone who looks like a human being, acts like a human being in all ways, and even says, I'm a conscious human being, but actually has no consciousness inside. That's the philosophical definition of a zombie. And there is no scientific experiment you can do to determine whether somebody is a zombie or a real conscious entity. There is no scientific evidence for consciousness. And yet we know it. And also science is interested in the objective, the real world, and consciousness is subjective. Science is looking for the truths which are common to all observers, that everybody can agree upon, is actually independent of the observer, and consciousness clearly. There is there observers. That's another reason science has to become conscious. And the third is, or the fourth, is that the universe works perfectly well without any understanding of consciousness. We don't need consciousness. In fact, you get this sort of rather interesting paradox where science would be much happier if there weren't such a thing as consciousness. And yet without consciousness, there wouldn't be any science. So this strange paradox. So things are beginning to change a bit these days. Partly, as we touched upon already, quantum physics. There are things in quantum physics implicate consciousness, the observer in some way. All the work that's been going on in the recent decades to do with the brain, neurophysiology, neuropsychology are all beginning to bring up this question of what is consciousness. You can't deny or can't ignore the fact that we're conscious any longer. And of course in the current times there's this whole interest in society, in the mind, in personal development, in spiritual growth, which again is all around consciousness, the nature of consciousness. So what I want to start off by doing is actually looking, what do we actually mean by consciousness? What is consciousness? Because we use the word in many different ways in our culture. It's a bit like, the Eskimos have 20 words for snow because they have all these different meanings for snow, and we just talk about snow or sleet or something. It's the same with consciousness. We just use the word consciousness, we mean many different things. You go to Sanskrit and you'll find about a dozen different words for consciousness, meaning a dozen different clearly delineated aspects of what we loosely call consciousness. So what do we mean when we say that somebody's conscious? Just look at some of the different meanings. I mean, the first obvious one is somebody who's awake is conscious. We say somebody who's asleep is not conscious. But we dream when we're asleep. We have experiences. Dreams happen in consciousness. So what we really mean when we say a person isn't conscious asleep, we mean they're not conscious of the exterior world, usually, but they're still conscious of their interior world. So there's still consciousness. Or sometimes we talk about conscious, I wasn't conscious of what I was doing, I mean I wasn't paying attention. But there's still some consciousness there. An experience many of you, I'm sure, have had many times is driving down a familiar road, perhaps driving home at night, and you suddenly realize you weren't conscious of the last 2 miles. And yet clearly you were conscious, because if you weren't conscious at all, you'd been driving into trees and trucks and you wouldn't be there. You were conscious, but what we probably mean there is much of my attention was on what I'm going to do when I get home, or what that awful thing that happened to me earlier in the day was, or what I'm planning for my vacation. It's like your consciousness is taken up with other stuff, so just minimal consciousness is on the road for enough to get you through. Another use today is spirituality. We talk about a conscious person. That's a really conscious person. That person is really the leader of that country is really not very conscious. All countries probably. They're just as they're conscious. You talk about a more conscious person. What we really mean is a more spiritual person is conscious of certain things, maybe certain levels of reality. The person we call quote unconscious is more conscious about their bank accounts. It's just conscious in different ways. And then there's the one which scientists often come up with, is that human beings are conscious of other creatures unconscious. Although human beings are the only conscious.
say?
Yes, whoosh, whoosh. Its mouth.
Oh, wait a minute.
Put that spaceship down. Hey, Told McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a frisbee.
Yeah.
I said it was something different.
Yeah.
Good man.
E-I-E-I-O. A spaceship. What? What? Oh no! Look at that! Oh.
a song I will try not to sing out of key.
I am Mr. Inside. Listen to my outcry. I wear my inner on my outside. Yeah. No shit, you're depressed again. All that's left is H2O, a pack of Nurofen, and a very heavy head to mend. I rest in bed, scared to be with you alone. We used to be the best of friends, you're just somebody that I used to know. And as you lose control, I realize you never really had it. Clearly damaged every action, nearly habit in the first place, true. But before I let you have it, let's inhabit our mutual birthday suit. Born March 20th, my first name's Brendan. I reckon that's your birthday and your first name too. Question, what you doing when you're talking to yourself? As in, who is listening to every thought you've ever felt? Before you send for help, it gives you strength in times of weakness. Fighting off those tiny demons while you're way too blind to see them. Trying to show them signs of reason, shining light to find the meaning. It's kinda like to find a being, or your hidden secrets, little misdemeanors. Even to that real deep shit, yo, I deal with the pain. No one else can feel it. When you feel insane, questioning what real is. That fucker in your brain when your mind turns numb. That universal truth that you try to hide from. It's the inside. Listen to my outcry. About time you heard what I really sound like. It's alright. Go ahead, tell me all your problems. Everybody got something. I ain't going nowhere if you want hard. No shit's always isn't gonna solve. Alright, Barbara, they were great legs. No one knew his hands up. And when I got something, I ain't going nowhere. If you want to my honey bun, seen in the world, just smile, fine. Always on a grind and always on a run. If you drop a beat, I'm gonna drop a line. And that's just how I bleed. Down with that, then you're down with me. Push the boundary. I'm riding the phone with I wanna get lost in the backbeat. I'll cut the stops with the door and it catches me with the beat. They like kids in the backseat. And I'm deep rapping with speed like an athlete.
No shit, there you go, so sick of your own company. Can't take it no more, so you figured you run to me and spill it out. All of your fears and doubts that nobody up in here gonna wanna hear about. As your shouts get drowned out by this in the racket, we can have it. Symptomatic, self-pity addict in the worst way, true. But before I let you have it, let's inhabit our mutual birthday. It goes born Jan 13th, my first name's Nicholas. I'm thinking it's your birthday and your first name too. Ridiculous, isn't it? How we could wind up at the point of bickering with one another, staring out into the void. Being that you and I are just one conjoined being, we should be achieving at least the front that's unified. I've been here the whole time. Through your eyes I've watched on and seen the way you're turning cold inside. Ever present like a mental poltergeist, got me on speed dial, but meanwhile I hold the line. Always talk, but listen, always take it. Never give it to someone to pull the shit, don't be so very convincing. So let this be the instant the pin drops and you walk out on the vicious monologue. It goes Mr. Inside, listen to my outcry. About time you heard what
scope it through. Got you phoning through without phoning you. My phone's on and hot. Who the fuck's phoning you? Couldn't care less what you think about me. I'm an MC, never been a VIP. Rep BB till I'm RIP. Check my CV on an MP3. Couldn't care less what you think about me. I'm an MC, never been a VIP. Rep BB till I'm RIP. Check my CV on an MP3. June boy swag. Yeah. Been here since way back. Pages, this truth for playback. Playback for the work hard. I hate gas. Next tracks getting regular playback. Play tracks, J-Rap's one of a kind. Nobody ever shot me running my mind. Always on the grind and always on the run. If you drop a beat, then you're gonna drop a line. And that's just how I be. If you're down with that, then you're down with me. I keep pushing the boundaries. I'm riding the sound waves out to sea. I wanna get lost in the backbeat. I can't be stopped cause there's no one to catch me. Keep the beats banging like kings in the backseat. And I'll keep rapping with speed like an athlete. And I'm tight like that. Clap, clap, cut the crap. I just need the drum track. Hit it with a rhythm when I'm busting a rap. It's like, I'm tight like that. Clap, clap, cut the crap. I just need the drum track. Hit it with a rhythm when I'm busting a rap. Yeah, boy. Yo, check it out. I'm fucking the beat, banging tunes. Don't fuck with the beat, I will banish you. I'm surfing the beat, Malibu. I bounce on the beat, kangaroo. Punchlines on the beat, black and blue. Electric on the beat, Xanadu. Tropical on the beat, Kakadu. Get deep on the beat like I'm banging you. MC host, whatever. Feels like I've been doing this forever. Getting better, take that cheddar. Get paid change, so I change like the weather. Connect like an iPhone tether. Fuck with you and the MC Weber. When am I growing up? Never. I think that's the class clever. And I'm tight like that. Cut the crap, I just need the drum track. Hit it with a rhythm when I'm busting a rap. Like, tight like that. Clap, cut the crap, I just need the drum track. Hit it with a rhythm when I'm busting a rap. Couldn't care less what you think about me. I'm an MC, I'm in a VIP. Rap BB till I'm RIP. Check my CV on an MP3. I be making a statement, ain't about fame when we taking a payment, no. It's just great entertainment, do shows and then I spit flows on the pavement. I be making a statement, ain't about fame when we taking a payment, no. It's just great entertainment, do shows and then I spit flows on the pavement. Then I'm making arrangement, no one put fans in a state of amazement. I ain't waiting around, I made my own sound and I ain't gonna change it. And I don't really care if you hate it, I flow so dangerous, ain't it a shame? See, now it's been caged in the basement, it's late that I paid any day that I'm waiting. I'm basic, I'm blazing, so when I create it, you're basically craving. Ain't no way to erase it, it ain't gonna fade. When I see a new place, I invade it. Just take it and say that you rate it, no need to fake it. Your face will display it, I spit it with a pace. But I ain't in a race, I be training your brain and updating your status. Metaphorically speaking, I'm honestly peaking, it's not what I'm eating. If I ain't popping them means I be dropping them freeze, can stopping them feeding on dodgy MCs, you done got the disease. Pouring out pop to the top for the season, I do what I want and it's all for a reason. You don't even know but I got what you needin'. Yeah, wanna hear more? Bars so raw, you wanted an encore? Let's be sure that there's more in store, still on the first floor, but I'm ready for war. Yo, I ain't gangsta far from